I think like.
Enzo Fernandez to Arsenal. What do you make of that? Enzo Fernandez, Yildiz, Konsa, they've all been linked with Arsenal Football Club, people. So let me know your thoughts in relation to what I said initially and all of those names. Do we need another centre half? Will we actually get Yildiz? Would you even go for Krupi, Ellie Junior Krupi and things of that ilk, people? We've been linked with everyone. In which, obviously, I want Morgan Rogers. Primarily, it's been Morgan Rogers, Picola, all those kind of things. I'll take both, if not just either one. But yeah, people, at least we're getting linked with new names. We'll circle back on this. Don't worry. Manchester City and Arsenal are gathering information on Enzo Fernandez. Real Madrid is his first choice, but they must make a sacrifice to present an offer to Chelsea. Now, the first thing I think of is this is creative journalism. Whatever you think about Enzo Fernandez, I do think he's one of those players that if he became available, keyword being available is very different from getting a deal agreed for numerous reasons and the mechanics that go into that. I think he's one of them that everyone will be interested. The second thing is you see a lot of rumors around Real Madrid need to sell a centre midfielder. You know, Enzo Fernandez's agent, I think Javier Pastore, used to play for PSG. Don't want to remind Arsenal fans about PSG. Has said they're looking for an avenue out. Primarily been linked with Real Madrid. For obvious reasons, he was linked with Manchester City when Pep Guardiola was there, let alone his former manager Enzo Maresca's gone there. He's a weird one with Enzo, man, in that you can do, like, you're actually a very good footballer. You can do everything, but what do you truly excel at and how do you fit into Arsenal? I think you could play in the pivot. I actually think you play in the 10. I do think you're smart tactically. I don't really believe this. I think there's more likely him going to City. I think another kind of link towards this BS, people, if I'm honest, is City have been linked with a midfielder. Now, I think they've confirmed Elliot Anderson, or they're on the verge for that. They were linked with Tonali, and they're still linked with other centre midfielders. Buardi, who's been linked with us. So that might tell you they want two centre midfielders. We have been linked with those kind of household midfielders, if that makes sense. Tonali was one, Bruno Gomes is another. Obviously, Tonali's got Spurs. Enzo Fernandez. Nah, it's not for me, man. Not even because he antics Argentina. Like, nah, it's not for me. Good player, would thrive. And I do think you're one of those footballers that the Julian Nagelsmans of this world, the Mikel Arteta is obviously better than Maresca's, those kind of new age managers. I think they would love to work with you, but 100 odd million that would probably be required to sell him to a rival. I don't know. You could give a degree of truth to this because we do shop at Chelsea, but you know, if we're gonna buy the kind of stars at Chelsea, if I accept this for some element of truth, there's more logic with signing Caicedo. There's more logic with signing Cole Palmer. What's his name? Malo Gusto. And Estavio and João Pedro and people of that ilk. So I don't believe this one bit. Would you lot have Konsa? Ezri Konza, 28, is subject of tentative interest from Arsenal. Konza is likely to be valued in the region of 60 million by Aston Villa, more than Arsenal would want to pay. It's believed Mikel Arteta is behind Arsenal's interest in the player. Now, the first thing is, Mikel Arteta wants him, great. If you're asking me if I had my squad, because City had this, if I could have Gabriel Magalhaes fit at his best, Saliba fit at his best, you know, a lot of players can play everywhere, but, you know, Benjamin White, Hincapié, Calafiori, Jurien Timber, and anyone I've missed out. Can you add Konza to the mix? Great. We were linked with Gurhi, in which the same kind of rhetoric would be where you're going to play. If I could have him in the squad with the riggers and stuff, and even the stuff we're hearing around Saliba, as well as several other players and fitness-wise, why wouldn't I want that? He's experienced, he's Premier League proven. He's at a team that's just won the Europa League. He's competing in the Champions League. Obviously, I'm not trying to spend 60 million. I know he's 28. He's a key player for Villa. Personally think, let's get Rodgers over the line, then entertain this. If you could do it for 40-odd million, great. I don't buy this one bit. And he obviously could play right back, in which Timber gets injuries. Ben White gets injuries as well. If Arteta wants him, then great. I don't really know where this link has come from, if I'm honest. And keyword, if that's 60 million, that's a myth. You know, if we're going to overpay, it's going to be left wing, potentially in centre mid. It's not going to be at centre half. We signed Mosquera out of nowhere to the casual football fan. If you do want another centre half, which has the makeup of Konza, you can play out from the back. Not the most expensive midfielder, but in a good way, a steady Eddie. Scouts, do your jobs. Let's get someone cheaper. But as I said, man, what did you lot make of Enzo Fernandez potentially signing? And what would you make of Konza joining our football club? Kidnan Yildiz. Now, the last time we was linked with him, the door was shut in it, essentially. The door was shut in our face. You know, the Italian league is struggling financially. I could be wrong, but I'm sure Juventus haven't got Champions League football. So economically, they're struggling. You know, Premier League club comes sniffing around. There's things that could be done. But he's the gem in their crown, isn't it? Like, it's Kidnan Yildiz. He's their golden boy. They'll move heaven and earth and sell other players, regardless of their economic situation, before they get rid of him. For what it's worth, if there was a willingness from Juventus to sell and from Arsenal to buy, and he wants to join us, and it's looking like we can make it happen, bring him. I think he's unfortunate in that he's a golden boy in Turkish football, but then you've got Arda Güler, can play on out wide, can play in the 10, kind of different players, but you see the same kind of conversations we have tactically and where he would play around Morgan Rogers. I think he's one of them, because I do think long term he's going to play central midfield or centrally, and I do think that's where you get the strengths. If I was on it, why not? And of course, it's going to take 100 odd million. That seems to be the new 5 million in today's day and age. So I would definitely not be against it, man. Milan have met with Leao's entourage and laid out plans for his potential exit. Claims reports demanding 60 to 70 million euros that could be loaned with an obligation to buy for Tottenham or Man United. Now, there's also simultaneous rumours that said he's been offered to Spurs, offered to United, offered to Arsenal, City, Liverpool, whatever have you in the Premier League, Paris Saint-Germain. Everything said no. Good player, but that's the first red flags. And you can't be going from being linked with Morgan Rogers and Bacola to him. Listen, if Leao signs, I do think he's a good player. I do think we could, we'd have certain conversations about if Mikel Arteta can, polish certain aspects, great. But if it gets to the point for Rafa Leao, for me, I'd rather scouts do their jobs. Obviously, speaking of scouts doing their jobs, people, I have covered this in a previous video, but apparently we've made an approach to sign Bayern Leverkusen winger Karim Alajabegovic as he continues to press at the World Cup. Now, they're out of the World Cup in that. Bosnia, obviously, Martinelli, and more so Trossard are linked with moves away. Trossard very aggressively, and based on rumours, if rumours are gospel, he seems to be the most likely to go. And then obviously, Krupi is being linked with Spurs. Spurs have spent 100 odd million on Tonali. Rumours from 45 all the way to 85 for Fernandez. They've done other things in the market. Ellie Junior Krupi, you're an Arsenal legend already. You need to sign for Arsenal. You can play in the 10, play up front, play off the left. Very young and coachable. I personally think it will be one of Alex Scott or Krupi. I don't think both will leave this summer. I actually think there's a strong chance Bournemouth hold on to both of them. But what do I know? I'm just a football fan.